Hi students, now the next topic is standard input and output interface. Okay, so see, this is the diagram for this. It is an example of a computer system using different interface standards. So based on the standards, we need to connect input and output. Okay, so see here, processor and main memory we connect directly. Okay, because of some circuitry problems, there is no possibility to connect directly. Okay, some devices, with the help of bridge we need to connect, means with the help of bridge we create an interface between a processor and main memory and PCI bus or SCSI bus. Okay, whatever it is. So based on some circuitry problems, there is no possibility to connect it directly. uh, directly there is no possibility to connect one device to another device. Okay, so in first one, processor and main memory we connect directly, that means processor bus we connect directly. Okay, in order to create an interface, in order to create a connection between PC processor bus and PCA bus, here we use a bridge. Okay, okay, with the help of bridge we create an interface between processor bus and PCI bus. Okay, this is the diagrammatical representation. Okay, here we have additional memory is there. Okay, SCSI controller, these are the extended, means in order to improve the performance, we with only with the help of processor bus also we can possible, but we need to extend. For example, if you take a CPU, so generally the capacity of the RAM is 2 GB. Okay, if you want to store more data, then we need to extend that memory. Okay, that means we need to extension. Okay, here also we need to improve the performance. Okay, we need to improve the performance, we create more connections. Okay, we need to extend. Okay, that's why we here we use PCI bus, SCI bus. Okay, so if you take the example of USB, so with the help of USB we need to extend the memory. Okay, so like that, some extensions required. So for that purpose, we with the help of bridge we extend the possibility. Okay, so the three major standard input and output interfaces are PCI, SCSI, USB. Okay, coming to PCSI, it is a peripheral component interconnect. Okay, next one SCSI, small computer system interface. Next one is USB. So with the help of USB, so you already you all are know about it USB. Okay, so understanding the USB concept, then it is easy to understand the PCA and SCSI. Okay, so with the help of USB, what is the use of USB means, in order to extension. Okay, universal serial bus. Okay, so coming to PCI, PCI defines an expansion bus on the motherboard. Okay, see, with the help of this PCI we need to extend the motherboard. Okay, so like additional memory, SCSI controller, ethernet interface. Okay, USB controller, ISA interface, like that. So we need to extend the motherboard, we will use a PCI bus. Okay, coming to SCSI and USB are used for connecting additional devices. So in order to add additional devices. Okay, so with the help of USB and SCSI, we there is a possibility to connect an additional devices both inside and outside of the computer box. Okay, so see, you, when you observe your CPU, we have both sides, that means front and back, both sides USB connection cables, USBs are there. Okay, ACSA bus is high speed parallel bus intended for devices such as disk and video display. So with the help of USB, we need to extend, okay, disk, okay, disk, and we need to extend, add we need to add additional devices like disk, video displays, okay, because means the high speed parallel buses, okay. Next, coming to USB. So USB is a serial transmission to suit the needs of the equipment ranging from keyboard to game. So with the help of USB, so you already know about that USB. So USB is a serial transmission to suit the needs of equipment ranging from keyboard to game control to interconnection. So with the help of USB, from ranging to keyboard to internet connection up to whatever, okay, we need to add additional devices, okay, with the help of USB. Next, IDE, Integrated Device Electronics Disk is compatible with ISA, which shows the connection to an Ethernet. So for the Ethernet purpose, we used IDE. So Integrated Device Electronics. So we learn in detail about PCI. Okay, PCI is developed as a low cost bus that is truly processor independent. Okay, it's a processor independent. PCI is nothing but, okay. So the name itself specifies a peripheral component interconnect, means for adding a peripheral devices we will use a PCI, okay. So PCA supports high speed disk, graphs and video devices, and PCA has a plug and play capability for connecting input and output devices. Okay, to connect to new devices, the user simply connects device interface board to the bus. Okay, so how we transfer data in PCA means the data are transferred between cache and main memory. So where we transfer data means in between cache and main memory. So with the help of PCA, we transfer the data between cache and main memory, okay. Means why means it's a very low cost, means low memory capability, okay. The data is a sequence of words which are stored in successive memory locations. Here data is stored in the form of successive memory locations, okay. During read operation, here also we have read operation and write operation. So during read operation, when the processor specifies an address, the memory responds by sending a sequence of data words from successive memory locations. Coming to during write operation, when the processor sends an address, a sequence data words is written into a successive memory locations, okay. Then PCA supports read and write operations. So a read and write operations involving a single word is treated as a burst of length one. Okay. So in read and write operation, a single word is treated as a burst of length one. Okay. PCA has three address spaces, that is memory address space, input and output address space, configuration address space. Okay. Coming to input and output address space is intended for use of the processor. So with the help of input and output address space, we intended the processor, okay. Next, coming to configuration, intended to give PCA its plug and play. That means in just now I told you PCA has a capability of plug and play. So with the help of configuration place space, it's possible. Okay, coming to PCA bridge. So PCA bridge provides a separate physical connection to the main memory. Okay. So the master maintains address information on the bus until data transfer is completed. So master is nothing but a bus master. So bus master maintains the address information until data transfer is completed. Okay, at any time only one device acts as a bus master. Okay. A master is called as a initiator, which is either processor or a DMA means we have different types of data transfers. So with the help of processor also is that possible, and with the help of DMA. So what is the difference between processor and DMA means with the help of DMA we transfer data very fastly. Okay, so addressed device that responds to read and write commands is called a target. Okay, coming to complete transfer operation on the bus involving the address and a burst of data is called as a transaction. Okay, so target is means where where the data is going to be transferred. That is the target. After meanwhile we perform some transactions. Okay, so use of PCI bus in a computer system. So see, this is the host and this is the PC. With the help of PCI bridge, we need to connect a host. Okay, with the help of PCI bridge, we need to we connect a PCI bus to host. Okay, so the PCI bridge act as an interface between host and PCI bus. Okay, so PCI bus contains a disk, printer, Ethernet interface, whatever it is. So with the help of PCI bus, we can extend the motherboard capability. Okay. So this is the uh, timing diagram for the read operation of PCI bus. How we are going to be read a data from PCI bus. Okay. So clock pulse is there. Okay. Frames are there. Okay. So during clock cycle 1, the processor A assets a frame to indicate the beginning of the transaction. So at the first clock cycle, first we need to initiate. So you need to initiate the transaction. So with the help of frame. Okay, sends the address on the AD lines. AD is nothing but address. Okay, so address lines and command on C or B lines. Okay, next, coming to during clock cycle 2, the processor removes the address and disconnects its drives from the AD lines. Selected target and select here selected target means enables it drives on AD lines. So whatever the address we placed on the AD lines, that is going to be enabled. Okay, fetches the requested data to be placed on the bus. After identifying the address, we need to fetch the data, whatever the data in that address. Okay, next coming to selected target, assets a DVSL and maintains it in an asset state until the end of the transaction. Means this selected this DVSL maintains the address, okay, until the transaction is completed. During clock cycle 3, the initiator assets IRDY, that means initiator to ready. Okay, to indicate it is ready to receive the data. So by seeing IRDY acknowledgement, then we understand it is ready to receive the data. If the target has data ready to send that assets TRDY, in our example, the target sends 3. So see here, the target sends 3 more words of data in a clock cycle 4 to 6. Okay, so see here, from 3 to 7 more number of words are going to be transferred. Okay, so in first and second, we just in first phase we initiate, and second phase we enable the address lines. Okay, and third we starts a perform we starts transferring the data. Up to seventh cycle we perform all these transactions. Okay, during clock cycle 5, the indicator uses frame to indicate the duration of the burst. Since it reads 4 words, the initiator negates frame during clock cycle 5. That means after finishing all transactions, the frame is going to be negates means disabled. Okay, during clock cycle 7, after sending fourth word, the target disconnects the drives. Means after transaction or after After transaction, it disconnects the drives, means in clock cycle 3 it disconnects the drives and negates the DVSL during clock cycle 7. Okay, this is the how we perform read and write, read operation. Okay, next, device configuration of PCA. So the PCA has a configuration RAM that stores the information about the device. Okay, then configuration of ROMs of all devices are accessible in the configuration address space. So the initialization of software read these ROMs whenever the system is powered up or reset. In each case, it determines whether the device is printer, keyboard, or disk controller. So with the help of device configuration, we understand or else we determine whether the device is a printer or keyboard or disk controller. Okay, so devices are assigned address during initialization process. So if you want to perform any action, compulsory we initialize that process. Okay, so after initial during that initialization process means we add address on the address lines. Okay, so each device has an input signal called IDSEL, that means initialization device select. Okay, it has 21 address lines, that is AD11 to AD31. During configuration operation, the address is applied to AD input of the device and the corresponding AD line is set to 1 and all other devices are set to 0. So this is the upper address line, this is the lower address line. Okay, specifies the type of operation and access the content of the device configuration ROM. So the configuration software scans all 21 locations. So PCA bus has interrupt request lines. Each device may request an address in the input output space or memory space. Okay, so we have here two address lines, that is upper address line and lower address line. So for upper address line, A11 AD11 to AD31. Next lower address line is A0 to A10. Okay, so coming to SCSI bus, so in SCSI bus, it stands for Small Computer System Interface. Okay, so SCSI refers to the standard bus which is defined by ANSI, American National Standard Institute. Okay, this is one organization. Okay, it provides some standards to the institutions. So SCSA bus has several options, that is narrow bus, wide bus, single-ended transmission, HVD, that means high voltage differential, LVD, low voltage differential. Okay, for the narrow bus it has 8 data lines and transfer one byte at a time. For the wide bus, okay, so the name itself specifies a wide bus. Okay, that means it has 16 data lines and transfer of 2 byte at a time. Next, single ended transmission, each signal uses separate wire. Next, it was a 5 volts and it uses 3.3 volts. For the high voltage differential, it uses 5 volts. Okay, for the low voltage differential, it uses 3.3 volts. So because of these various options, SCSA connector may have 50, 60 or 80 pins. So the data transfer rate ranges from 5 MB to 160 MB. Okay, or 320 MB. So the data transfer rate depends on length of the cable and number of the devices to connect it. So in general, how we calculate the transfer rate means the help of length of the cable and number of devices connected. Okay, to achieve this high transfer rate, the bus length should be 1.6 m for SE signaling and 12 for LVD. signaling. So the SCSA bus as connected to processor bus through with the help of SCSA controller. So how we connected controller means with the help of SCSA controller. The data are stored on a disk in blocks called as sectors. Okay, each sector contains several hundred of bytes. Okay, these data will not be stored in a contiguous memory locations, means it's not a continuous one. SCSA protocol is designed to retrieve data in the first sector or any other selected sectors. So in order to retrieve data we use SCSA protocol. Okay, using SCSA protocol, the burst of data are transferred at high speed. So with the help of this protocol, we transfer the data at high speed also. Okay. So the controller connected to SCSA bus in two types. There are initiator and target. Okay. With the help of initiator, it has a capability to select a particular data and to send the commands specify the operation to be performed. So with the help of target, the disk controller operates as a target. So here what is the target means, disk controller act as a target. Okay, it carry out the commands it received from the initiator. So whatever the command sends by initiator, that accepts the target. Okay, the initiator and establish a logical connection between intended target. So with the help of target we create a connection, we create a logical connection. Okay, steps for read operation. So the SCSA controller contains for control of the bus, that is initiator. When the initiator wins the arbitration process, the initiator selects the target controller and hands over the controller of the bus to it. The target starts an output operation. The initiator sends a command specifying the required operation. That means in order to perform a read operation with the help of SCSA controller, it initiates the process. Okay, it initiates the read operation with the help of initiator. Okay, so here also target is the target sends a message to the initiator indicating that it will temporarily suspended the connection between them, then releases the bus. So meanwhile some data is going to some process, already some running process is there, that's why it sends a message. Okay, it will temporarily suspended the connection between them. That the target controller sends a command to the disk drive to move the read head to the first sector involved in the requested read operation. So whatever the requested read operation is there, so the target controller identifies the head. Okay, generally we have head and tails. Okay, that means starting and ending. Okay, so whatever the requested read operation is there, the target controller identifies the starting position of the read operation. Okay, in order to move here, in order to fetch the data. Okay, first we need to identify the head of the read operation. So the target transfers the content of data to the initiator and then suspends the connection again. Okay, then the target controller sends a command to the disk drive to perform another seek operation. And as the initiator controller receives the data, it stores them into a main memory using the DMA approach. So here we use the DMA approach. Why means SCSA is a faster. Okay, faster data transfer means we use a DMA transfer. Okay, SCSA controller sends an interrupt to the processor indicating that the data are now available. Okay, after finishing the previous process, then SCSA controller sends an interrupt to the processor indicating that now the data are now available. So whatever data we want whatever the data we required, that data is now available. So this target controller sends an interrupt to the processor. So processor sends a request to the target controller. So this type of data I required. Okay, then the target controller uh, stops that operation. So whatever the current process running, that stops and then starts this process, so fetching the data. So after fetching the data, this target controller, sorry, this SCSA controller sends interrupt to the processor. Now the data is available. Okay, so bus signals of SCSI. So the bus has no address lines, instead it has data lines to identify the bus controllers involved in the selection or reselection or arbitration process. Here there is no address lines are there, here only data lines are only. Okay, for narrow bus there are 8 possible controllers numbered 0 to 7. For a wide bus there is a 16 controllers. Once a connection is established between two controllers, there is no further need of addressing. Okay, after establish a connection there is no use of address. Okay, then data lines are used to carry the data. With the help of data lines we get the data. Okay, all signals names are preceded by minus sign. So this indicates that signals are active or that data line is equal to 1. So if you identify the minus sign, that indicates that signals are active, or data lines is equal to 1 when they are in low voltage state.